Okay, so about last night's Floyd Mayweather Victor Ortiz fight. There's been a lot of controversy, of course, the way it ended. And, a lot of people have their own views on what happened and what was going to happen. And after watching the fight again, I feel the same way I did last night. Floyd knew he was in trouble, and he was looking for a way out of that fight. Now, I'm not saying Floyd would have lost the fight. I actually picked Floyd to win the fight. I picked Floyd by unanimous decision. And that was with me rooting for Ortiz. But fighters do things in a ring sometimes. When you're scared, you do things to get out of fights. I mean, Mike Tyson did it against Holyfield when he bit half his ear off. Andrew Galata with Riddick Bowe. You do things to get out of fights. Now, what Victor Ortiz did, you could have said he was doing something to get out of the fight also, but I don't think so. I just think he was so caught up in the moment. I think, it was only 4 rounds. It's hard to say. Floyd might have been ahead a little bit, but Victor Ortiz had moments in the fight, and it was pretty evident that Floyd was not hurting him. He was starting to bust him up a little bit, but Ortiz didn't show that he was hurt at all. Cortez took a point away. It's not that nothing was done. He didn't even want him. It was deliberate, and he should have took a point away. Ortiz was wrong. I'm actually more upset with Ortiz today, right now, than I am with Mayweather, because Ortiz messed up a good thing. He was fighting a good fight. He was putting pressure on Floyd, and he was having moments in that fight. Look, you got to protect yourself at all times. So, what Floyd did, it's wrong, but it's not wrong as far as rules. He didn't do anything illegal. This is part of gamemanship, Ortiz is young. He's going to learn. He'll learn from this. I'd love to see a rematch. Don't know if it'll happen. I don't know with Floyd because, he could take 2 years off. A lot of people want to see him fight Pacquiao. I want to see him fight Ortiz again. And I'm not saying Ortiz would have won this fight, but what I'm saying is Ortiz was having moments in this fight, and I'm more upset with Ortiz for fouling Mayweather and starting this whole thing because Ortiz was fighting a good fight. As far as the whole Larry Merchant part, it was classic Larry Merchant. How many times have you seen Larry Merchant? Hey, listen, this is what the guy does. A lot of people say he doesn't know anything about boxing. He's never been in the ring. But that doesn't mean you don't know anything about boxing. He never fought, but that doesn't mean he doesn't know the sport. The guy's been doing, boxing his whole life. Some of the greatest boxing historians never put on a glove. It means absolutely nothing. And look, he was asking Floyd what needed to be asked him. It was a controversial ending. What are you supposed to do? He was doing what he was supposed to do. Floyd was totally out of line. You've seen it if you watch 24/7. He does it with his father. He's totally out of line. He's done it with other boxing reporters in the past, and it's just something that he consistently does. And it's the reason why people don't like him. He claims, look, Floyd's great, and pound for pound, he's the best fighter today. He doesn't have a hole in his game. He does everything great. If you ever want to become a boxer, watch Floyd. Like I said, there's no holes in his game. He does everything right, but he doesn't. He's just a bad person, and you see it every time you see him. There's something negative coming out of him, and the whole thing with Larry Merchant was uncalled for. It was uncalled for. Whether you have a personal beef with the guy or not, this is. You got to act professional there. You don't ask HBO to fire him and put someone else there. That's just not called for. Why? Because the guy's doing his job and asking you questions pertaining to something he just saw? No, it's wrong. Anyway, that's my wrap on it. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think.